difficult was it not to get the calls in game 4 or 5?
It's tough, you know. You want to be the guy in the playoffs that pulls you back into the series, but I also understand, you know, when the games don't go your way and, you know, you're giving up that many goals, sometimes they got to make a change, and they did what they thought was best for the team.
Coming up for a contract this summer, does that decision to not go with you in game 4 or 5 have any impact on your interest in re-signing, or do you still have an interest in coming back to LA?
No, I mean, I'd still love to come back. Yeah. As well as the rest of the year went for me, personally, being part of this group was as good as I could have expected it to be, coming from you know, a down year last year, getting hurt a few times, and being completely healthy this year, playing the amount of games that I played. I think I proved that I still got a lot left in the tank, which was, you know, I wasn't always so sure about that after last year. Last year was tough for me, so to come in here and play the way I did and be part of this group was a ton of fun. I had a great time with these guys, and you know, it ended way too early, but I would still love to be back for sure.
How much of that positive experience is tied to the goaltending staff?
A lot of it, to be honest with you. Yeah, just, you know, from the start of training camp, working with Billy and Bucks and the whole goalie group. I mean, Copper, Ritter, and even just the young guys during training camp and stuff like that. We have such a great group, but working with Bucks all year was, I can't say enough good things about him. I mean, he helped my game. He was always, you know, made it fun to come to the rink every day, which isn't always the case sometimes, even when things weren't going so well through the middle of the season. There was never panic or, you know, any kind of negativity coming from him. He always made it fun to come to the rink every day, and you just wanted to be better and work for him. So I give him a ton of credit for sure.
Coming into the season, I think you said you were comfortable maybe in the 50 start range. At the beginning of the year, you were being deployed a lot. Do you feel like that stretch maybe took a little out of you for the middle of the year? Would you like to see maybe more even deployment of those starts next year?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because when you're getting those starts and things are rolling, you want to be in there every day. So taking games off doesn't really cross your mind when things are going well. It's when things aren't going so well that you start to question that stuff. But you know, looking back, I think that I played probably the perfect amount of games. Like I said, I wanted to play between 50 and 55. I thought that's what my body could do, and honestly, I feel like I could do that again next year. I feel this is the best I felt heading into an off season in a really long time, physically and mentally. So I would love to be somewhere in that range again, but obviously it's up to the coaches to play the games and stuff like that, and come up with a schedule. But yeah, I still love being in there every night, especially when things are going well. So it's tough in those moments to like say, hey, I need a night off, because you just want to be in there every day as a competitor for sure.
Yeah, you look at Edmonton, their power play, being a goaltender in that situation, how difficult is it to be that guy looking for where that next shot is coming from?
It's tough. I mean, they've been together for a long time now, and they know exactly where they're going to be, and there's just so much movement, rotation. They just always seem to make something out of nothing sometimes too. I mean, it's not always, you know, the up over one timer kind of thing. They're just always constantly moving. You're always having to take your ice awareness and stuff like that. And you know, they showed how dangerous they can be when you give them that many opportunities. So, like I said, they're a couple of the best players in the world for a reason. They make everyone around them better, and then you put those other guys out there with them, and it's a recipe for disaster if you give them that many opportunities, and they took full advantage.
Cam, I don't want to say that it's jumping off of Daryl's question. I don't want to say that it's unstoppable, but it was historic last year. It's still, you know, what it is. I mean, do you think it's kind of still undersold in a way that power play is some sort of beast that it's yeah. I don't know what the right word to describe is, but you know, it's something that's beyond the norm.
Yeah, it really is. I don't really know what else to say about that other than what I just touched on, but yeah, they've come up with a winning formula there, and like I said, you get those two special players making everyone around them better, and they just, if something doesn't work out, they've always got another play up their sleeve somehow. So we just didn't really have an answer for it. I thought we did a pretty good job of it throughout the regular season. Just come playoff time, we just couldn't find a way.
Yeah, I probably didn't do a good job explaining it, but it's like, it's easy to say, yeah, you gotta stop it. Yeah, you gotta, not take penalties. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, whatsoever.
Yeah.
Doing it and putting that into practice with that group is.
Yeah, it's easier said than done for sure. And you can say, we can't give them that many opportunities, but I mean, there's going to be penalties throughout a game. You just have to find a way to kill them, and we weren't able to kill enough of them.
Cam, usually it's skaters, but what's it like for a goalie to play behind the 1-3-1?
Makes it a lot easier on us, that's for sure. I thought that throughout the season, we were one of the best defensive teams in the league for a reason. So I think it has a lot to do with their discipline and commitment to that style. And I thought that even throughout the 5 games in the playoffs and stuff like that, like 5-on-5, we did pretty well. We just gave up too many goals in the power play, and that was our Achilles heel. But defensively, I thought that we were great all season long, and the numbers show that.
And jumping off that, when you first signed, you mentioned that defensive kind of goalie-friendly system, and specifically Todd, was a big reason you wanted to sign here. Todd's obviously gone, and there could be more changes coming this summer. How much would a potential change in system to something that isn't as goalie-friendly impact your decision to come back or not?
I don't think it would impact it. I'd still want to come back for sure. The personnel in the room, I think, if they even were to change the style of play, we still have the personnel in that room to play a very good defensive game, whether it's 1-2-2, 1-3-1. I don't think it really matters. No matter what style we play, I think that this group will still be one of the best defensive teams, and I'd still like to come back and be a part of that.
As you look ahead, what are you prioritizing? I mean, obviously, always think about term, dollars, personal stability, opportunity to win. What's most important to you as you look ahead to this decision?
Opportunity to win, obviously, is a big one for me at this point in my career. Haven't won yet. Would love to, obviously, before I'm done. Stability would be probably number 2 on the list. I think for myself, my family, we've moved a lot lately. 7 teams in 11 years. I'd like to limit that number and keep it at 7 for a little while. That would be kind of nice for me.
So your purpose would be to sign a multi-year extension, correct?
That would be ideal. I'm not sure what the team has in store or anything like that has planned, but for me personally, I would, love, multi-year for sure. And like I said, at this point, stability for my family and not having to uproot the kids and stuff like that would be nice.
And you mentioned that last season Ottawa was really tough. There was a lot of injuries, and off the back of it, you took what turned out to be a very team-friendly deal here in LA. But it sounds like the dollar amount isn't as important to you. Would you be willing to take another kind of maybe smaller dollar amount than you could get in free agency to get that stability and maybe that term here?
Yeah, I haven't really talked about that at all with my agent or anything like that. And obviously, this team is going to have some other tough choices to make as far as re-signing guys and cap flexibility and stuff like that. So hopefully, it can all work out for the best. And I just hope that I'm part of that plan.
What's a day like this like for you, given what we're just talking about with the uncertain future and you've had a long career? What's it like to sort of walk out the door? Knowing that this is really the door closing on the season.
Yeah, it's always tough when the season ends and ends too early. Like I said earlier, I had such a great time coming in here and being part of this group. We thought we had a special group from the start, and probably one of the best dressing rooms that I've been a part of in my career. So, love playing here, not just for the weather and stuff like that, but the group of guys here is pretty special, and it was just nice to be a part of that. And it really sucks, for lack of a better word, that it ended so quickly on us.
The start of the season, it might be difficult now to go back and look at what went so well for the group that start, and couldn't keep up the same winning percentage, but what went so well early?
it's tough to limit it to one thing. I think obviously our trip to Australia was probably huge, especially for myself coming in, new guy. Really getting to know the guys on a trip like that is pretty special. You take guys say team bonding, all that kind of stuff, and it goes a long way when we get on the road for 10, 12 days with the guys to start the year, and you really start to become like a family almost. And I think there's something to be said for that. The best teams that I've always been a part of have that identity as like a family in the room, and everyone wants to be their best for the guy next to them. And I think that was a big part of it, is just getting on the road and having that bonding really helped us hit the ground running when the season started, I thought.
Philip Deneau was saying that he
Last
thought,
question,
as
by the
the-
way, so you're good, but yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Philip Deneau was saying that he thought as the season went on, especially late in the year, there was maybe not as much predictability, looking at the guy next to you and knowing what to expect in the game and that sort of thing. Not that anything was wrong in the room per se, but just that kind of declined a little bit. Did you feel that? And if so, why do you think that was?
Honestly, I don't know if I felt that way. Personally, I felt like as like the beginning of the season, like we were really good, and I thought we kind of got back to that later on in the year. Maybe it was line shuffling and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it. Guys that were injured coming back to the lineup, maybe there was something to do with that from a player perspective. But from mine, I can't really speak to that. I don't know if I felt the same way.